Hi, folks. Welcome to Follow the Leader, a podcast focused on telling character-driven stories through the use of GM-less tabletop games where we can all take the lead. You can find us on Twitter and Tumblr at FTLcast. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/FTLcast. Today we're playing Echo by Roll Over Play Dead. For those of you who are new to this game, here are the basics. A land at peace. Scars of a great war have healed over the decades. Children play among the wreckage of giant mechs of war. They find a ghost, the mind of a dead mech pilot, backed up by a tiny echo drive just before death, lodged in the dirt and long forgotten. It regales them with stories of the great war that once ravaged the world. In exchange, it asks that they reunite it with its fallen mech and final resting place. I'm Sam. You can find me on Twitter at SAKalo, and my pronouns are he, him. Playing with me today, we have everyone. Our whole podcast is here.
Yeehaw!
Woo!
I'm leaving again, bye.
No!
Wait, Zachary, actually introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hello, my name is Zachary Fredrickson. You can find me online at ObfuscatingGod on Twitter, and my pronouns are he, him.
Hi, I'm Dora. You can find me on Twitter at HarpyDora, and my pronouns are they, them.
Hi, I'm Jade. You can find me on Twitter at JadeOxfordRose, and my pronouns are they, them.
Hi, I'm Kales. You can find me on Twitter at Citadel of Swords. Please don't refer to me right now. I'm still sick.
Just don't come anywhere near them. They're contagious.
Yep.
My name is Mab. You can find me on Twitter at Little Lady Mab and elsewhere. And my pronouns are she, her.
Our lines, things that we absolutely do not want to see, are homophobia and transphobia, racism, sexism, violence against children and animals, sexual assault, domestic violence or intimate partner violence, and unwanted pregnancy. Our veils, things we're fine with addressing but we'll just fade to black on, are steamy situations, graphic descriptions of bodily harm, and terminal illness. Now that we've got all that, let's get started. And the intro soundtrack plays. Exactly, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
So, Echo is a game that was written for the Emotional Mecha Jam back in January 2019, since this episode is coming out in 2020. What the fuck?
Whoa, what?
Decade ago.
Guys,
What
we're
the
in the
fuck?
future.
Stop. I hate it when people say that. It's
What
not
the fuck?
funny.
It's coming out next decade.
No.
Yeah. It's coming out next
Ew.
decade.
Listen, if you think about it, every year is a new decade from the year behind it. So, whatever.
Okay, Carrie.
Time is fake.
If you think about it, time is an endless road stretching out behind us.
So, Echo is written by Roll Over Play Dead Games, which is Kai Po and Alicia Roosley. I'm hoping I say that right. All I'm going off of is how Austin Walker said it on that one Live at the Table.
Oh no, don't acknowledge him.
So, as Sam kind of said in the intro, it's a game about finding the Echo Drive, which contains the ghost of a mech pilot. So one person is playing the pilot, and the rest of us are playing children. So this is not going to be traumatizing at all.
But Kales, I don't see any robots on this map. What will the mech pilot be piloting?
Zachary, no one else can see the map either.
But Kales, I can see a map.
There's a tank.
Isn't there 2 tanks? I thought we found 2 tanks.
There's 2 tanks. Also, to be clear, because we're talking about this out of context, we are playing this in City of Gold's universe. How are we going to do this?
That was was trying to give you an in for that.
Thanks, Zachary.
I saw it. I saw what you were doing. I respected it.
God, I forgot how fucking good this map is.
Look at that crab. Is that a crab on... See, when I look at this thing, I see a triangular body with a head with horns. But is that a crab?
Yeah, that's a crab.
That's Daddy Crab.
The triangular body is actually arrows showing that he came, and then he left, and then he came back.
Ah, where did you come from? Where did you go?
Where did you come from, crabby-eyed Joe?
This is gonna be a wild outtakes.
All right. Someone else please keep going, because obviously I don't have the lung capacity to keep introing this game.
Okay, I don't understand this game, so it's not going to be me.
So the City of Ghouls is a post-apocalyptic fantasy set after a climactic war between the forces of magic and the forces of technology. I've never played in it before, but I decided to start talking.
You're, explaining it to yourself.
The last time I played this was 2 years ago.
I was ready to, but you took it, and I'm going to sit here and eat my crisps.
Ah,
Continue.
crisps. So
We can just go into characters right now.
yeah.
We should. We gotta stop.
I'm flexing my token English person status as we're all here today.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
You're always the token English person.
No, but I'm flexing it. Map,
Okay.
support me in this, please.
I support you, Jade.
Your English muscles are so flexed right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
the thing about this is that it's not the mech pilot, who is me, is not a mech pilot at all, but is in fact
Well,
something else entirely.
I mean, it depends on your definition of mech.
Well, if we are all mech, if our brains are all pilots in our mechanized bodies of meat, then yes.
I cannot escape the meaty skeletons.
I
I
hate it.
hate this. You guys all suck.
Casually hacking Echo just a little bit for fantasy.
It's easy.
No big deal.
Magic and souls and stuff.
It was a system that really inspired us and made us go, oh, we should play this in our Magitech world, which so far has been very magic and rather low on tech, and we thought, let's give it a spin, because we all like sad mech stories.
It was also, we're just standing in the hotel room at FlameCon, and we're like, let's just all play babies. And then I just said, let's just play Echo. And we were like, let's all play our babies in Echo. So we're all playing our innocent children.
And someone said, and Zachary can play the pilot, and everyone, oh shit!
We just had a huge galaxy brain moment. It was great.
It was pretty great. I think we actually had that on recording somewhere. Did we not?
No, it happened the next morning, so.
Oh, right.
Not after that card game.
Yeah. It wasn't even a game, it was just going through a deck of sex position cards.
Jesus Christ.
The game was guess what's happening.
Zachary and I clearly have to get to the next FlameCon.
Exactly.
Please do.
The game was 2 ace people try to read sex positions.
On Chinese playing cards.
From, bad anime cards.
Oh, boy.
It was a lot of fun.
I got pictures, I'll show them to you.
So today we're playing Echo.
Today we're playing Echo,
Today we're playing
Echo.
a game of grief and storytelling.
Oh, grief. I thought you said brief, and I was like, this isn't brief, this is us.
This sure is fucking gonna be brief. Let's go through the steps. Number 1, pilot. 1 player. You're a ghost. Power is failing. You can never go home. All that's left is to find where you fell. So I'm not going to introduce myself yet. Because I want to do it last.
So we'll skip to step 2.
We'll skip to step 2. 2 or more players play the children.
Here we have 5. 5 children.
A lot of kids.
Lot of kiddos.
I would even go so far as to say a gaggle.
I realised on reflection, with our 4+ being the special case, we are a Scooby gang. Quite literally.
Oh,
Yes! Yes!
Holy shit. I guess
Yeah.
I'm Fred.
Let's introduce all our characters and let the listeners decide who gets to be who.
Add us on Twitter when you decide which member of the Scooby Gang we are.
I'm totally gonna tweet right now, out of context, to be clear.
we could just start like setting the scene and be like, kids walk out of the forest. What do we see?
Oh, I like that.
Well, so here's the thing also, is that we have not established what we were doing when we found the Echo Drive and how we know each other, so we could come up with that right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're all orphans, aren't we?
That's sad.
Dora, I'm gonna defer to you on this one for me.
Honestly, I feel like your character would probably be an orphan at this point, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not in a vacuum here in terms of establishing this character, so
we could all know each other from an orphanage then.
Yeah.
I imagine there's a lot of orphan kids in the City of Gulls.
are we in the City of Gulls? That's my other question.
I assume we're from the City of Gulls. I don't think we're in it right now. Is my hot take.
Well, this has been a significant span of time because the war is over. Is the City of Gulls still the only city in the world?
Oh yeah. It's, I mean...
Even 200 years in the future?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the way that I established it. I mean, because the Quiet Year game, I think, was only, it was less than a century after the war had ended, I think.
It was, so we guesstimated that it was about 200 years between the war and the Sundered Land, and then Quiet Year was like 60 to 70 years before Sundered Land.
Okay,
yeah.
So, yeah, it definitely still, like, there definitely isn't any other, like, permanent settlement to that scale that still exists. And it's, like, honestly a miracle that the City of Gulls still exists either because of all the shit that went down in the winter. But, like, yeah, I've kind of still been envisioning that the City of Gulls is the only, like, major settlement still on the map even 200 years later. This is not a world that is really, the world no longer is really kind to major settlements existing.
And for clarity for the people following the canon of the City of Gulls verse, this is taking place about, I think we said about between 5 and 10 years before the This Town is Full of Monsters game.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Okay, so when I said war, I meant how long after the events of the Quiet Year.
Oh.
So about 70 years then. Well, yes.
Yeah, the tiny wars at the end of the Quiet Year, not the actual calamity. Okay.
Yes, because the important thing is when the mech pilot died. In terms of who can remember him, who can remember them, you know, what effects their passing has had on the world.
There are definitely people alive who would remember the pilot.
Yes.
The peony does.
We are not among those people, obviously, because we're playing kids.
We are baby.
No. But people who were children during those wars are still alive.
And the peony. And Avery.
The children who were crying at the end of the Quiet Year because there was so much fucking war going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those poor babies. But they're still alive.
And they're obviously... like stories that get passed down about the pilot. There's urban legends, probably, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So we all know each other from the orphanage.
The Talus Foxglove home for children with no parents.
I definitely think it should be the Talus Foxglove Orphanage, whatever we decide to officially name it, though.
Yeah, the home for children with no parents. That's just such a... I love, like, just a blatant, extremely blatant, like, that's what this is. Very blunt.
It is very good.
It's just funny to me. Yeah, we're going to see, Jade. We're going to see what happens after the end of this game.
Yep, cool. So what were we do? So do we want to do a quick scene establishment to figure out what we're doing?
I think that would be good. Also, where is this orphanage? Is it in the city? It's in the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's in like the heart of the city, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like in the safest place.
Yes.
Did we want to introduce our characters first?
Like my like you could, what I was saying is you could frame it as like there's a forest. One by one the kids come out of the forest. Which kids come out? Who are they? What do they look like?
Okay, yeah, sorry, I did not understand. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah.
No worries.
There are so many of us talking.
That's true.
Zachary is also doing a better job explaining things than I could hope to.
Well, I'm not sick, so it helps.
We also said that we wanted it to be winter.
Oh, so it's a snowy forest.
So we're all bundled up in our
Lots of layers.
fucking
Mismatched clothes.
Very mismatched.
Except for me.
Oh, well,
Maybe I have a
I
scarf.
was going to say, you think they wouldn't have given you warm weather gear? Like, they have.
Oh my god, your tiny little hands in big people gloves
Oh my god.
That's so fucking cute. Shit.
with a little scarf.
Alright,
You got some hot rocks in your pockets.
Okay. Focus.
All right.
so are we exploring the coniferous forest? Is that what we're doing?
In the carnivorous forest.
The coniferous. The
No.
coniferous.
I would never.
Please, let's not be in the carnivorous forest.
I am leading us all on an adventure. We're going on an adventure.
Oh.
Okay? We're gonna go, like, find City of Gold's Santa. Whatever he's called.
Fuck. This episode comes out in March.
We're gonna go find the City of Gold's leprechaun. Let's go. Or the Easter Bunny.
No, I like the thought that it's like, maybe because nobody wants to be stuck, it's like, maybe it's the first time it's stopped snowing in a while. And everyone is being encouraged to go outside because everyone's been cooped up indoors for too long. And everyone's going a little bit,
Stir crazy.
and is doing, I shouldn't stop, I should stop saying I said earlier as well. So Dora, I'm sorry. Feel free to bleep or do whatever you see fit to make this audible.
All right. I'm going to say that my character is in the lead, so I wander into the forest. I am playing Joe Stockton, but as a 14-year-old sports jock.
Read himbo.
He's very earnest and very beefy,
I love him.
and he's baby.
He's baby. He's the oldest of the babies.
He's the oldest of babies, but he's still baby. He is of the age where he is, he's 14, so he's like, I'm the oldest, I'm practically an adult, I'm definitely, he's a whole realized person at this point.
What does 14-year-old Joe look like? And for anyone that maybe hasn't heard the arcs with Joe in, what does Joe look like?
14-year-old Joe has, like, sort of messy, chin-length hair. It's very curly, it's very messy, but he doesn't put it up yet. And he's just he's a little too tall for his body. Like, you know how when, like, kids hit their first growth spurt and they're just a little gangly? We're like, he's strong because he's a sports boy, but, like, he hasn't, like, grown into his muscles yet. If that makes sense. So I'm in the lead. I've got a stick from the forest in my hands. I'm walking with it like some sort of old wizard.
Oh my god.
It's beautiful.
Who follows Joe from the trees?
Are we going into or out of the forest?
I don't know. Maybe we're going into a clearing in the forest.
So we're emerging from the trees.
Maybe it's like a fairy ring.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yes.
So I think maybe I'm following behind Joe. I am an intrepid youngster named Parker, and I am a talking raptor. I look a bit like a Utah raptor with the big curved foreclaw on each foot. I have like red and brown feathers. I think we decided raptors were feathered in the Sundered Land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, if not, retcon.
Is this like a velociraptor type raptor or like an eagle?
A velociraptor type raptor.
Okay. When you said feathers, I was like, shit, is this like straight up an eagle? Am I a dumbass? What's going on here?
No, he looks like a Utah raptor, which is kind of like what the basis of the raptors in Jurassic Park were.
Ah, okay, got it.
So I'm approximately small person sized, and I have cold weather gear on that has been bestowed to me by my friends. I've got a cute scarf. It would be funny if I had earmuffs, but nobody knew where my ears were.
Yes.
That's so cute.
And some mittens on my raptor claws, my hand claws.
I think shortly after Parker appears from between the trees, sort of half tripping in their haste to catch up with Parker, is Theo, aged 10. As is often the case with Theo, a large hood is like sort of mostly pulled up. I think they're struggling to keep it up at the moment. There's a long scarf wound around. It's like lots of layers, very piecemeal looking, even compared to the other orphans. There's some like longish brown hair tumbling around their face, and splotches of dark blue mottle their skin. They've sort of got wide eyes and have that good nervous energy. That one of those kids that always seems to be a little bit on the verge of vibrating out of their seat with nerves. I haven't seen It Chapter 1, but my understanding of what Eddie is like, I imagine it's a little bit like that.
Yes. Oh, God. I also haven't seen It Chapter 1, but from my understanding, that's accurate.
Tumblr is very informative in some ways.
All I know is from Tumblr and one person I follow on Twitter who's very into it.
Into what? Sorry.
It Chapter 1, specifically.
Finn Wolfhard.
Well, he
That
plays
kid.
Richie. The guy who plays Eddie, I think, is the kid who was in Shazam, or one of the kids who's in Shazam.
Yes.
Like, who's friends with the main
Yes.
kid, Billy. So, I forget the young actor's name, but he's very good. But Theo, as ever, looks like Tom Holland, for the most part.
But like Tom Holland, age 10. Tom Holland and Billy
Yeah.
Elliot.
I was like, Tom Holland still looks like he's dead.
But yeah, slightly more softer features, and as I said, the blue splotches and the long hair. But yeah, and like Theo is basically tripping over their feet as they try to catch up. Like, I think like they've stepped on the front of their scarf and are just managing to right themselves to catch up with Parker.
Adorable. Joe does not notice this. Joe is marching very, very, like, steadily on ahead. All right, who's next?
Kales, would you like to emerge arm in arm?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I think it's also funny if you're kind of dragging me along because I keep stopping to look at things.
Yes. And so, emerging slightly in the lead is young Davy Jane, who's about 11-ish. Who knows? They're all babies. And he has his arms, his arm looped through...
Through Meryl's, age 12, still with her little fun buns.
Oh, excellent.
She keeps stopping to, like, look at a tree, or, like, she's like, wait, I think I hear a bird, and
no,
like,
we'll do that later. We have to keep exploring. We have to, like, draw the whole map first, and then we can come back and figure out all the things that we can put in the map, right? But first, we gotta see the whole shape of the map. It's gotta go big first, okay? We can do that. Come on.
That was very meta.
We're gonna lose them if we keep waiting.
Okay.
Joe, slow down!
Never. No. We gotta keep going. We only have so much time before it starts snowing again.
I know!
Meryl is getting over a little bit of a cold because I am getting over a little bit of a cold. Ow. My throat hurts so much from coughing. Shit.
All right. So, what were we doing when we found the Echo Drive playing?
Drawing a map.
I guess we're drawing a map.
I don't
Which
know.
is useful because Echo is also a map drawing game.
Oh, wow! Look how I did that.
Look what you did. Okay, so that's what we're doing, and who's the one who actually finds the Echo Drive, and what does it look like?
Yeah, because it ain't computery.
I think, like, as we all get into the clearing, because Theo is the type to always have a bag full of stuff, pulls out like the big sheet of paper that they've maybe managed to acquire for their map, and is looking around for somewhere to add this clearing to it, and finds a tree stump, and flops a bit of paper down and like is trying to start sketching it out, and like the tip of the pencil snaps on something, and they look confused, and they pull the paper back, and they notice something shining and a different colour to the rest of the tree stump. And I want somebody else to finish the description because I don't want it to be just me.
Is it a glowing stone?
Oh, it's a big glowing rock.
It's one of those fucking glowing rocks that explodes.
Well, so my thing, the one thing I had about it is that I think it is like amber.
Love that.
It's not amber, it's blood. But it behaves like congealed amber.
Oh, fuck, yes. That's good shit.
This is the good shit.
The kids see it and think that it's one of the rocks that explode because it is just a glowing rock. And they're just like, oh no, everyone get out.
I think the glowing rocks are a different colour though, right?
But do we, I guess we know that, but we could also think it's a forest variety and it's a different color.
Meryl's like, wait, I got it. I can do this.
I also think it's not glowing that much until you touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Meryl's like, everyone stand back. I have experience with this.
Okay. I heard the rest of the children backwards, because I'm in charge.
And she's gonna go over and kind of very, very gingerly. And I don't think she's wrong. I think she has had experience with the glowing rocks that explode.
Is she gonna poke it with a stick?
No, she's not gonna poke it with a stick.
She's gonna poke it with her finger.
Yeah, she's just gonna kind of gently tap it to see if it makes the same sounds that the glowing rocks make.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it does. And I think she goes, okay, it's safe.
All right.
But what if it wasn't and it exploded? Our game would have been over.
Well, yeah, but we know it's not. So, and she's gonna try and kind of dislodge it from the stump.
Yeah, Theo will dash right back up and try to help.
Joe's gonna sort of put his stick down, put his walking staff that he's picked up down, and go, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." He's gonna crack his knuckles, walk over, and he's gonna grab it with both hands, and he's gonna pull really hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's probably pretty bad, strongly lodged in there, but I'm sure 3 children can pull it out.
3 children, one of whom is a jock.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the tree stump that splits.
Yeah.
And the stone comes tumbling free.
Yeah, because I definitely think it fell from the sky.
And Joe ends up very much on his ass. Yeah, I got it. Holding it in one hand, laying on his back on the forest floor in the snow.
Alright, the only important thing is that it remains in somebody's hand.
So has Joe got it?
Joe's got it. Yeah, he's got it in one hand. He's holding it upwards as he's laying on his back in the snow. Maybe the only thing that the rest of the kids can see is his arm with the stone in it.
It's a lot of snow. That's so cute.
Meryl's gonna roll her eyes and go and try to help pull him up.
Davy goes to help as well.
Well, so here's the thing that happens. As Joe holds the stone skyward, it flares with a ruby light.
Oh.
Because I'm going to say words now.
Hell yeah.
As you hear, "Ha ha ha ha! Mortals, you stand in the presence of Raskul the Mighty."
Oh, it's gonna explode, but worse.
Oh, God. What's going on?
Davy immediately, trips and falls.
Even Joe is oh, I'm not sure what's happening here. Meryl, you take it.
No, I don't want it.
Yes, just interrupt me.
Meryl's gonna take it. Hey, sorry, you're pretty loud.
Yes!
You're scaring the kids.
And Joe.
I have spent far too long without my voice.
Oh my God.
I know we're outside, but can you use your inside voice?
This is a concept I have no knowledge of.
Okay, can you just maybe take it down a notch?
Cover your own ears!
No!
Do not think to control Raskul the Mighty!
No, we're all standing right here. You really don't need to yell.
Yeah, could you maybe take the volume from, like, up here to, like, down here, please?
I don't think Rascal can see... Rascal? I don't think he can see you.
Can you see us?
No.
You're in a rock.
I am as though I was suspended in endless dark.
Okay,
Oh no.
I'm gonna take off my hat and put it over the rock and just be like, does that make it quieter?
Well, the rascal of
It does help a little bit, but it's not.
That's muffled now.
So wait,
I put my hat back on.
why are you a rock?
How'd you get trapped in there? What if it's like the stones in the village? What if it explodes?
It's not gonna explode, Joe.
Joe just sort of got there. Like,
Joe, it's not gonna explode. Where'd you come from?
me, I came from the village.
Joe! I'm talking to Rascal!
You're talking to a rock.
Rascal.
Let's go, yeah, that's right. Yeah, how did you get in the rock?
A complicated question. I hail from the ancient kingdom of the Skyborn Isles.
Okay.
I want to go. That sounds really cool. Can we
Yeah,
go?
that sounds pretty cool. Can we go there?
That depends. Can you fly?
No.
Well, I look at Parker.
I look at Parker also.
Can you fly?
No, Parker can't fly. Like, he kind of, like, flaps his arms a little dejectedly and just shakes his head.
Ah, darn.
Zachary, do you wanna, like, introduce your character?
I was trying to, and then all the kids talked over me.
Children, we don't know how to be silent.
Stepping into the meta space for a moment, where the children are not yelling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, how everyone... Just kidding.
In the meta space. Who is the pilot?
The pilot is Rascal the Mighty. His unit and serial number are Last Warrior of the Keltonites, Bulwark of the Skyborn Kingdoms, and Annihilator of the Iron Hordes.
I do love the font change here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. I do like the font change.
His last mission was killing the giant seagull.
The whale-sized seagull, to be real clear. It was a whale-sized seagull.
Because Rascal used to be very tall.
He's the tall boy.
It's the tall boy.
He's the tall boy!
He's back!
He never left.
That was the galaxy brain moment when I went, Zachary can play the tall boy, and everyone screamed.
Yes.
The game asks me what I loved most about my past life, and it was 1 second.
It was just 1 second, and 1 second only. The rest of it sucked.
Yeah, the rest of it was like the worst.
No, what I loved most in my past life was to crush my enemies, see them driven before me, and hear the lamentations of their women.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
We are all like 10.
That's the premise of the game,
I mean,
yes.
it's true.
War is hell.
That is, of course, what is best in life from Conan the Barbarian. I loved being a fucking badass mercenary, taking gold and killing monsters. That was my whole deal. And then that damn bird took me out.
You took it out before you fell, though.
You did.
Yes.
Mutually assured destruction.
Its talons clove the last bit of lifeblood from my body, where it congealed and fell to the earth below. And who knows what happens next. What did I come from, this country or another land or another planet? I came from the Skyborn Kingdom of Giants.
Like Jack and the Giant Beanstalk.
Like Jack and the Giant Beanstalk, exactly.
Where is that? We don't fucking know.
It moves, you know.
It moves.
It's
It's on a cloud. It just shifts with the winds and the tides.
It's on a giant cloud, and there's multiple clouds, and they come together and fall apart as time goes on. It's a whole thing, but that's where I'm from. That's where Rascal is from.
Wow, what a succinct backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Says Meryl.
Wow. So we're from the city of gulls.
I don't know that.
It's like that way.
Wait,
Joe points again.
He can't see where you're pointing
is it
to.
insensitive if we call it the City of Gulls if he died fighting a gull?
Oh, shoot, I don't know.
Shoot.
I don't think it has another name, though.
We could just call it the city.
It's true, it is kind of the only city.
We live by the sea.
Ah,
There's a giant crab.
which sea?
I think there's only one.
There's more sea.
Foolish children. The world is far greater than you understand.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I know a lot. Trust me, I'm in charge here.
Ah,
Davey in the corner is like, the fuck, Joe?
I'm in charge. Joe, we discussed this. I'm funding the expedition by giving you extra snacks from my...
Guys, I'm the oldest. I'm in charge. Obviously.
let me tell you this, youngling. You are not the oldest anymore. I will now lead this expedition.
How?
I mean, okay, you're an adult.
You have no legs. I'm sorry.
That's true, yeah. How are you going to be in charge if you can't walk in front?
You will carry me forth.
Okay. I stick my hand out to Meryl to give me back the rock.
Okay. If it gets to be too much, I can take him back, and I give Joe the rock.
All right, I take the rock. I go, all right, okay, guy. What?
Rascal the Mighty.
Rizgal.
Rascal.
Rascal.
Oh, fuck!
One of my favorite things about children is that they can't remember words to save their fucking lives.
I think 14-year-olds are better than at that, though.
This is Joe we're talking about, though.
That's true.
And let me tell you, I guess my most of my experience with older children is 12-year-olds, but they can't remember a single goddamn thing. It's extremely funny.
So where are we going?
Since we're starting off on our adventure, I want to take a step back into metaspace again.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to do the world in the hometown.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, so, step 3, world. Children, teach the pilot about your world. The Echo Drive can speak and hear but not see, as we've established, so be their eyes. Start by making a map, marking where you found the drive. Was it a cave, a beach, an orchard? Which, we've already determined that we found Rascal in the, coniferous forest that's kind of to the west of the city. And as you describe more locations during the game, feel free to add woods, hills, rivers and lakes, coastlines, towns, roads.
Perfect.
Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
Sorry, no, I was tapping on the forest because I have the bad spatial memory. So I was just reminding everybody that this is where we are right now. Up here, sort of in the north area. For all of the listeners out there who aren't looking at our map right now, it's sort of in the northwest-ish.
Of the old City of Gulls map from the Quiet Year game.
Yes.
We're redrawing...
The blue trees.
We are redrawing it in the Echo map to make it easier for us to reference shit as we go.
So we also choose if the world is advanced or low-tech. I think this question only quasi-applies because it's Magitech heavily leaning on magic, so I guess maybe low-tech might map the best?
I think we can pick and choose depending on what seems more apt in the situation, and I definitely think if we're looking at relics from the Calamity, they'll be more advanced than things that we would find from, like, the Quiet Year, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think we were at a slightly higher level of Magitech before the apocalypse happened, and then the apocalypse happened, and now we're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw a bunch of Christmas trees.
Fuck.
This is how children draw Christmas trees.
Yeah, like this.
And then, since we've chosen that pilot, was the world as advanced back then as it is now? How has it regressed?
Well, so which one did we pick? That it was both.
I think it's like, generally speaking, it's going to be on the lower side of things, but there are remnants of a time that was more advanced, so we could find the odd bits. But given when Rascal died, it's not gotten much different, I don't think. There's not been any real advances.
When I was young, the cities spread for miles below. shining spires of gold and silver, lit with the torches of 1,000 days. Those cities were gone by the time I died.
All right, you're Scottish now.
Yeah, like, I love that your
I'm
accent keeps
working
sort of
on it.
vaguely shifting, but, like, I do kind of love it.
No, I think it's great. I'm just saying, you're Scottish now.
I have lived a long life.
You have.
You have. Also, I feel like it was more Irish than Scottish.
I don't know shit about Gaelic dialects, so...
He's vaguely Nordic. It's not Earth.
It was a vaguely Nordic, vaguely Irish sort of sounding.
That's okay. This ain't Earth, so who cares?
Mhm.
Yep.
It's true. It's its own thing.
So, step 4.
Yep. Step 4, hometown. Children choose one hometown or more from the advanced or low-tech options or roll a die. I think since we're already working in an established universe, we'll just pick and choose.
Yeah.
Yep.
So here are the options. Tiny fishing boats go out from a village on a sandy coast. Lush forest where we hunt and harvest forest goods. Lonely oasis on the edge of a desert or dry scrubland. Crop fields spread out as far as the eye can see. Contented herds graze in orderly fenced pastures. Crossroads market town bustling with trade. Mining mechs and digging machines toil in a quarry. Towers and great halls of government and commerce. Busy port city, many ships/spacecraft come and go.
I do like the way that this is set up, where it's like some of them work for both, and so
Yeah.
we've got 2 different lists.
It's a really good game.
I feel like the Crossroads is, given that what we've established about the City of Gold, and it's one of the few places where there's a lot of people living, relatively speaking, Crossroads Market Town feels pretty good to my mind, rather than it being a mining place or like with lots of cattle or fields for crops. Like it is fishing, but it feels City Gold feels bigger than tiny fishing boats. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Crossroads Market Town.
Yeah. I like that.
I feel there's space then to explore the other things like the fishing and the fact that people go gather stuff in the forests and stuff like that.
Yar.
So whereabouts shall I put it on? Because there's obviously the coast on the other side. And we want to and we said the coniferous forest is to the northwest of it.
Yeah, so it's like the coast sort of probably starts like here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
What's down there? Oh, is this a town?
Yeah, I was thinking like sort of part of the edge of the town. We by all means delete it, but like it's...
Yeah, no, that's a good spot for it, I think.
Yeah.
This is just like a suggestion of the edge of it because it's fairly large.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then we answered these questions. What scars on the land and on the adults show the impact of the final war? How have they faded? How much damage remains? So we can answer this in terms of the Quiet Year War, or we can answer this in terms of the apocalypse, or we can answer this in terms of both.
Yeah, I like both. Okay, so what is there? There's like tanks and shit all over the place.
I mean, the city as itself is in ruins. There's only parts of it that are habitable as it stands. Like, there's a cluster in, like, a section of it, and, like, you can get to the sea.
There's also all the underground tunnels that I've just remembered are there underneath the whole city.
All the fucking underground tunnels, yeah.
Yeah, well, I just, like, looked at the map and went, oh, right, that's what that is.
I think it's impossible to look at the City of Gold and not see the damage of war, because it hasn't ever recovered from it. It's been like almost 200 years, and except for like a chunk of the town, it still looks like, I imagine it looking a little bit like blitzed London, purely because that's a visual that I've grown up with a lot, and just like, yeah. And it's like, and people have made the effort, like there aren't any buildings. They've tried to make, like, collapsed buildings safe, and you know which ones you can't go into. But there's, like, this weight of grief for something lost that nobody alive, well, maybe a couple of exceptions, can remember anymore.
We've got some really old people in here.
There are some very old people in this town. It's full of monsters.
Yeah.
I feel like it says about scars. I feel like it's old scars by this point. We're talking about mostly silvered, though obviously the Quiet Year conflicts, there's probably more recent damage, and I like the thought that some of the forests show that. Maybe there's still some defences up around the town from the wars with the big cats and with the raptors. But it's like old scars, but scars that are just there. People they're too big to hide, and so people just live with them.
Yeah.
And, like, we carry the weight of it, like, children born after it all. Like, it's like that way that kids don't have any judgments about scars and things like that. They just see them. So I think for us, we just accept the place that we live. But there are people that look at the damage and remember the war, or see the damage as a bad thing and mourn what was lost. Whereas for kids, it's just like, this is where we live, and that's the cool place to go climb. But that air of grief, I feel like, is, while people are trying to build and reclaim, that's sort of inescapable. Because it is, like, 200 years is not a long time after a calamity. Like, at all.
No, it's really not.
And, like, 70 years since the Quiet Year. Like, I mean, that's World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's... Some people will not shut up. Yeah, it's recent memory. Like, as we said at the top, like, there are people ignoring the people that are incredibly old. Like, even, like, there are regular older folk that clearly remember the war, the Quiet Year wars. So, I've talked for a lot. Other people talk now.
We like to hear you talk.
Yes.
Is that weird? Is that a weird thing to say? I don't know.
No.
We make a podcast together.
I was going to say, we make a podcast.
We make a
I hope
podcast
that...
together, so, like, you know.
Did we go over, like, what scars are on the land?
Not specifically, no, and I feel like we should.
I feel like one of the spires didn't we establish that, like, one of the, like, big spires got, like, knocked down in the fight between the tall boy and the big bird?
Yeah, I think that sounds right. And I think that just can be, even if we didn't already establish it.
Like, yeah. I like that. Yeah, there's just, like, a big fucking, like, rock spire that, like, crashed through half of the already destroyed city.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously there's just the corpse of the tall boy, the skeleton. Ruskull's corpse is in the city and has been since he fell.
Just, casually.
Just casually, just, like, a lot of really large bones.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we of course don't understand that yet, because if we did, then the game would be over.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Is there anything else we want to add to hometown stuff before we move on?
I like the idea that there's maybe, like, a big trench on the beach. Like, maybe that was a result of that final battle, or maybe of a different one. And it's like a couple of really deep scores in the sand, like, that goes beyond sand, like the sea can rush in and out of, and, like, almost goes up into the cliff base. Because we did talk about there being cliffs, right? And
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the thought, like, these two massive grooves that maybe they probably go deep under the water as well, but, like, they etched, like, along the beach at crossways to the line of the shore, and then up a little bit into the mountain shore, because that's a dope ass visual and a place to maybe go on one of the journeys.
All right.
So I think Rascal still needs to tell the kids what they need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mechanically, in the meta space, here's how the journeys work. Children, each of you in turn leads the group on a journey to a mech, a mighty wreck that lies silent, disarmed, harmless. The oldest child goes first or decides who does. I think we've established that Joe's gonna go first, because...
Yeah, Joe is in charge. He's not in charge. Joe thinks he's in charge.
Joe's trying. Choose a description and fate or roll a die for each, then mark it on the map. Any child can add details to fit the story. How large was the mech, humanoid or bestial, colors of the armor if there's any left, thrusters, wings, specialized limbs. Pilot, what do you remember of this mech? Friend or foe, hero or craven? How did it meet its end? How do you feel about its final resting place? Ask questions about the mech until you are satisfied, then say, let's move on. The next child takes their turn to journey to another mech until the final mech. So that's basically how the next rounds will go. I think that it implies that we all go on a journey before we do the final mech, so it's not like one of our journeys is going to be the final mech.
Yes. So where there will be 6 total mechs or monsters or whatever.
Okay. So, Joe.
So are we we're leading on a journey. Are we trying to find?
Yeah. So this is the thing that I needed to say. I think as Rascal, because Rascal did say, I will lead this expedition.
Yeah.
Maybe someone just asks you, Rascal, where are we going?
Yeah, because I think the game leaves it ambiguous as to whether or not you are specifically trying to find the final resting place of the pilot, or if you're just going around looking at stuff. So that you can kind of, like, decide for yourself how the game works.
Yeah, because in Live at the Table, to not to invoke their name, that was what they were doing. It was like, hey, where's my mech? And then they all found a bunch of mechs that were the wrong mechs.
See, yeah, that's what I was like. Like, Joe is like, oh, you were a big thing? Well, here's a big thing. It's a tank.
Yes. Listen, child.
Yes.
You must reunite me with my fallen farm. I need only...
Your fallen farm. Okay. Where is your farm?
There's no farms near here.
Yeah.
My fallen farm.
I think
My body.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Form.
Got it.
The gem you hold contains my soul's essence. It need only be
Gross.
reunited with my fallen self for me to spring back to life.
Whoa.
Oh, shit, okay.
Meryl?
Meryl, don't say that around the kids.
You're also a kid.
I'm an adult here. I'm the adult here. I can say swears if I want to. You're not allowed to.
Meryl rolls her eyes, presses her hands over Parker's earmuffed ears, and says, shit.
The peony's gonna be so mad. No one tell her that Meryl said that.
Parker makes a kind of distressed scree.
Children in this age are so much more sensitive.
Fuck! Okay, boomer.
Episode title.
Listen, if we're gonna keep talking about my accent, it's just
I don't know. It's changed like 7 times in the sentence.
I'm not a human being.
All right.
Now
so...
I was channeling Nixon for a little bit there.
Please don't do that.
Oh my god. So, we have to find your farm.
My farm.
Form. Got it. Right. You find your form, and then you'll just, like, come back to life?
Yes.
So we're looking for something that's, like, big and, like,
Well,
maybe
that
a person.
What are you? Are you elves?
We're
What's an elf?
people?
Humans.
Hoomst?
Yes.
Hoomst.
We are.
Troll?
We are.
You're not trolls. You don't sound like trolls.
I think we're human, except for you. I pointed.
Who's you?
You can't
No.
point. Joe, you can't point. You can't point.
Okay. Parker is a raptor. Parker, say hi.
Hi? Yeah,
So Parker is a raptor. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm the raptor. I hope that's okay, I guess.
Of course it's okay.
I have no qualms with the dragon folk.
Oh shit.
You're a dragon.
He's a dragon?
I was going to say, Theo looks at Parker, eyes super big.
There are dragons?
He's a dragon?
Do you breathe fire?
Not anymore, child. Not since old Rascal had his way with him.
Oh, gross.
No.
With a sword!
You're not making it better.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't talk about that in front of Parker.
I killed him with a sword.
Oh.
Asard.
A sword?
I ball up 2 snowballs and I throw one at Davy and I throw one at Joe.
Hey!
It's cold. It's going down.
You're being rude. You're not supposed to point out people's speech problems.
I just don't know. I think you're still looking for a farm. I'm sorry.
I pick up a snowball and I mash it in Theo's face.
No, Joe, that's mean. Don't do that.
Don't throw snow at me, you twerp.
Meryl is going to look at the rock and say, I'm sorry for them.
Right, okay, so.
True, I would be better served by having a strong, stalwart cohort of warriors and mages, but I suppose a group of children will have to do.
We know some mages.
What's a cohort?
I don't know, but we know a mage. He's like really old. He lives in the city.
We can ask the peony. No, we might get in trouble for leaving the orphanage again. We will have to do. If you can accept us, we will gladly accept your quest.
We will take up this quest in your name.
Good.
Rascal
the Mighty.
Rascal. Yeah.
Last warrior of the Keltonites, bulwark of the Skyborn kingdoms, and annihilator of the Iron Horde.
Do we have to call you that every time?
No.
Okay. That's a lot to remember.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mouthful.
lot, yeah.
I am known by many names.
All right. So, why were you in a tree stump?
I fell in battle.
Well, yeah, but like around.
Are we saying all this while walking?
I assume so.
So I'm gonna lead us. Okay, roll a die for each of the market on the map. The oldest child goes first. That's me. How large is the
You
mech?
can also just pick one that sounds interesting to you.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want it to be like Joe is really fucking stupid. So
Yeah.
I really want to say that he leads them to like one of the old right here on this map here. So like probably like here-ish on this map. There's just like an old tank. It's like definitely not humanoid. It's a tank. And he's like, so this is the first like this is the closest really big thing that could be like a bot. I don't know. It's like kind of mechanical. I'm gonna draw it on the map because I want to.
Sure.
Wasn't it one of the things that we thought it was cursed in the quiet year?
Oh yeah. So
That could work. Number 3 could be quite cool for that as well, if it's a big tank on the list.
Fallen on its side, mostly intact, overgrown with brush or vine or moss, a playground for adventurous children.
yes, exactly. There we go. It's a tank.
So there's that, and also the fate of it.
Yes, the fate of it.
Just the next table on the next page of the...
Oh, there we go.
Which sounds like shunned and avoided is this mech, cursed, ill-omened, or off-limits by law. Only fools and children dare to visit.
Yeah, that
Or,
one.
foolish children,
Or foolish children, which is us.
if you're Joe.
So Joe like lifts up the crystal and is like, so we found this thing. We like to play here. It's like it's metal. It's kind of like a box. It's got like a room inside of it. And it's got like a big gun on the front. I don't know what your body's supposed to look like, but like it's big and kind of scary. So I figured maybe, is that what you need to describe better what you're looking for? Because this is the first thing I thought of when I thought about big, scary, ancient thing that could come back to life.
Well, I can tell you that I was not a box.
Okay. So this probably isn't your body, but it is really cool. Can we show you around?
Okay.
I'm sorry, you got a bunch of ADHD children.
Children, add details to the story. How large are the mech? Humanoid or bestial? Colors of the armor, if there's any left. Oh, cat!
There's a cat.
Whose baby?
That's my baby. Forgot to close the door.
Baby!
Baby.
I love her.
Lucy's been coming and going, and I'm just like, no, stay down there.
Oh my god, one of the big cats showed up. I'm kidding.
No, how about there's just like a really big cat like asleep inside this mech and we're like, oh shit, it's a cat. There's kittens. We're all very quiet and very respectful of this cat. And so Joe goes, okay, we're gonna leave now because those get kind of violent. But there's a big cat living here now. That's what its fate is. It's cursed and there's cats living in it.
That.
Were there any cats when you were around, Rascal?
Well, of course.
Did you have cats living in you?
No. There was a time. There was a time when I was charged by the people of the Ebon Sands to save them from a tribe of speaking cats from the mountains.
Whoa.
Oh my god, a speaking cat.
Cats that can talk?
I believe so.
Imagine if our cats could talk to us, like our pets and stuff, like, what do you think they'd say?
Probably that we need to feed them more, which is what they say anyway.
Yeah, they kind of already do that.
I can't wait until, hopping into the metasphere for a second, I can't wait until Sable and Marius show up and Marius tells these kids about that talking cat and they all go, holy shit!
Yeah, the cats did
their
talk,
damn
didn't they?
minds.
Yeah.
That was like a point. That was like the point. Okay, these kids. just
Oh
don't
yeah,
know
no,
anything.
they did. These kids are just fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, Ruskell did drive the cats out because he got bribed by the city of Gulls folk, so I mean, it's reasonable that the kids don't know about talking cats.
Yeah, because they are like 12? Speaking of
Small.
12, Meryl, it's your turn to lead the expedition on a journey to another...
We went through that extremely quickly, I guess.
Are we going extremely quickly? Because I feel like that
Yeah.
took us like a whole 10 minutes. There are 6 of us.
Do you not want to talk about any of it at all?
No, I do.
No, that's why I'm like, we're not done yet.
There's a bunch of questions I'm supposed to answer about the mech.
Oh, fuck, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a big dumbass, and I'm used to, like, moving games along quickly, because I teach a tabletop gaming class that's only an hour long.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, we've got several hours allotted, yeah.
We've got time.
We can...
I'm sorry.
Because Rascal doesn't even know what this thing is, because nobody's described it to him beyond, like, extremely basic, like...
Metal box with wheels. And a gun.
And a room inside where there are cats living, apparently, and lots of flashing lights and...
Oh, the shit, do the lights still flash?
Feebly, I think.
Is there a lot of buttons inside? Oh my god, you guys.
Joe, don't press any of the buttons.
Buttons are like crack. Buttons
Davey,
are so good.
stop Joe from pressing any of the buttons.
You know I can't stop Joe.
I thought you were afraid of the cats. You're going to get in with them and press the buttons.
No. I will press the buttons when the cats leave. Another time.
I don't know, there's a couple of these guys around, and everyone always says they're really dangerous, and people used to drive them around, and, in the war and stuff, but I don't know, they just kind of seem, I mean, there's, like, plants growing over them now, they just kind of seem kind of harmless now.
Right? Yeah. Like, these things aren't dangerous, they can't even move. Joe punches it, and it, like, makes a terrible creaking noise.
So where would you punch it?
It's made of metal.
Yeah.
Parker, like, walks up and scrapes it with one of his claws, and, like, a bunch of rust flakes off, and he's just like, yeah, it's just kind of here, It's old and rusty, and I don't know, it's kind of gross.
I think it's fun. It's like a clubhouse. We hang out here a lot. Usually there's not cats in here.
The peony gets mad every time we come here, but I don't know, it's just like a big box. The gun doesn't even fire anymore.
We tried. Trust me, we've tried. You don't try to tell us.
I told him not to.
It's a big gun. You think I'm not going to try to shoot it? It's cool.
I know you're going to try and shoot it. I told you not to. It's a big gun. You could have hurt someone.
It's fine. It's pointed away from the city.
Could have hurt a tree.
So what? It's a tree.
Wow.
It's not like we're in the carnivorous forest. They're not going to eat us.
Sure.
I don't know how else to describe a tank.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm just going to be real honest.
I mean, like, he can clearly tell this isn't his body, though. Like, it's a metal box with wheels on it.
Certainly not my body.
Okay.
I did fight scores of these in the early days of the war, but I suppose nobody cares about that.
Whoa, wait, no, you fought against these guys?
Yes.
Joe, like, holds the thing a little closer to his face. Like, can you tell us what they were like when they were, like, alive?
See, this is more like it. I'm a font of ancient wisdom. You should be asking me all sorts of things.
Sorry. We got so lost in the sauce of being kids.
Metagame. You're supposed to ask me questions so I can say things. It's not my job to just offer up information. Yes. I mean, originally, long ago, these things were created by humans to fight wars against each other, but with the, is there a name for why the machines became evil?
I I think it was literally differing viewpoints, because it was like humans wielding magic and humans with technology.
Ah, okay. I thought it was machines rose up and killed the world.
No, less Terminator, more.
No, it's all human beings.
I see.
It's all people are fucking terrible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, the the technocrats of the old world.
What's a technocrap?
Don't say crap.
Sorry.
Technocrats. Folk who believe that circuitry and steel were the answer, and not ritual and an understanding of the world. They sought to utilize their understanding of technology to supplant the gods, to stand o'er all of creation as mundane masters. Of course, considering these things are no bigger than my foot and I could stomp them real easy, weren't very masterful to me.
Wow, so you were, like, really big. Because, like, I thought this thing was big, but you were, like, really big.
Well, yeah, I was a giant. I'm a Keltonite.
I think you gotta understand we don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Children. They don't teach you nothing these days, do they?
I cannot remind you enough. We are like...
Babies. We are like babies.
Well, I mean, like, I'm an adult.
I mean, if we find your body, we'll know, right?
Yeah, right?
Probably.
Will you know?
I hope so.
I'm sure he will.
Well, he can't see. How is he supposed to know?
He'll feel it in his heart.
What heart? It's a blob. He lives in a rock.
That's kind of how magic works.
You gotta feel it, and it's like ba-bum, and it goes wa-boom, and you just go yes.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I will tell you, but before I even had my 10th summer, I was already well trained in the martial arts.
Whoa.
So youth is no excuse for ignorance.
Hey.
I don't think you understand our situation very well.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
No one's gonna explain.
No one's gonna explain. No one wants to explain. Oh yeah, we're all orphans, and we live in a fucking shitty orphanage.
I thought I mentioned orphanage earlier.
Oh no, I mean, like, we've mentioned it, but we haven't, like,
Okay.
explained what that means.
At least not to Rascal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's fine.
I mean, it's fine. If we can go on an adventure to help Rascal find his body, then we can maybe also learn martial arts along the way, and it will be great.
Sure.
I know. This is all the martial arts I know. And Joe strikes, like, in a really dumb pose. And, like, punches a tree. And then he, like, spends, like, 30 seconds, like, shaking his wrist out because it, like, fucking hurt. He's like, ow, ow, ow.
All right. Well, if you're satisfied with this, we can move on.
Yeah.
I don't think Rascal can teach us martial arts if he can't see us.
Shoot.
No, I mean,
you're
like,
right.
we learn it in our hearts.
What does that mean?
It's all about a journey of learning things in our heart.
What does that even mean?
I don't know either.
It's magic, obviously.
I put my hand to Theo's heart and I go, you'll feel it like a big rush of warmth when you learn something new, and it will be awesome.
Theo just like bats Davy's hand away from their chest.
I'm gonna look at Joe and say, "Can I take Rascal?"
I hand over the lump of congealed blood.
Oh,
It's
When you
not
put it that
sticky.
way.
ew, Joe, no.
Look,
Better
it
wash your
basically
hands
is what it is. He said he bled, and then the blood, like, so it's basically just blood, right? Like, this is just his blood?
It is my blood, the lifeblood, the essence of mine soul.
Mine soul.
Mine soul.
Mine soul. Sorry, here. And I, like, hand Meryl the blood rock.
Okay, let's try again.
Who bears the might of Rascal?
It's Meryl. Hi.
Hello, Meryl.
Oh. That was, like, weirdly, like, a very tender, like, hello.
All right, let's try again.
Journey number 2. 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
Hi, it's Dora, and I just wanted to thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed us, please consider leaving a rating on iTunes, telling your friends about us, or tweeting about our show using the FTLcast hashtag. No, seriously, we crave the validation and it helps us out. Your support really means a lot. Thanks again!